Mike Sonko was elected as the governor of Nairobi in 2017, he forgot one thing. He forgot the fact that he was actually a project of the system. I'm not saying that Mike Sonko would not have won the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact of the matter is that Mike Sonko did not qualify to vie for the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. The system made Mike Sonko qualify for that seat. There was no way Mike Sonko would have been cleared to run by EACC in this country. Even the higher education spot would have questioned his credentials. But the system wanted to remove ODM dominance in Nairobi because they knew that if ODM won Nairobi, then they were going to face problems. So they agreed to support Mike Sonko, clear Mike Sonko, gave him votes, the Kikuyu votes. And then Mike Sonko became the governor for Nairobi. And we all know that Mike Sonko has been impeached. And that impeachment has dealt a big blow to Mike Sonko. But I'm beginning to think about something which happened several months ago during the Kibra by-election. When Ken Okoth died and Kibra seat was declared vacant, Jubilee Party officially made an announcement that they were not going to sponsor a candidate for Kibra. But William Ruto later on maneuvered his way and Jubilee sponsored a candidate. I just want you to listen to me. And when Suleiman Dori died and there was a by-election there, Jubilee again decided not to sponsor a candidate there officially. But William Ruto still ended up sponsoring a candidate. And because I keep on saying on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. What were the political objectives of Jubilee Party not sponsoring candidates in Kibra and in Msambweni? Their arguments were very simple. That Kibra was Baba's bedroom. And again, they argued that in Msambweni, that was ODM's seat and ODM's stronghold. So they didn't want any contest there. But I have an answer for you. The main political objective of Jubilee Party not sponsoring a candidate in Kibra and Msambweni were actually about Nairobi politics. So Rafael Tuju knew Uhuru Kenyatta's plans for Nairobi. He knew Raila Odinga's plans for Nairobi. These guys knew, Rafael Tuju, who is the Secretary General of Jubilee Party, knew that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to remove Mike Sonko. And because there was no deputy governor, the speaker was the only person who was going to act in the absence of the deputy governor. So which meant ultimately, after Mike Sonko was removed, or after successful impeachment of Sonko, then Nairobians were going to be subjected into a by-election. And how can President Uhuru Kenyatta succeed in retaining control of Nairobi? He can only do that by working very closely with Raila Odinga under the banner of the handshake. Because if you look at the voting pattern in Nairobi, it's very clear that you are either pro-Uhuru Kenyatta or pro-Raila Odinga. I'm not talking of William Ruto because William Ruto's presence in Nairobi is yet to be felt. In 2013, if you look at the results, Raila won in Nairobi. If you go to the gubernatorial seat, 2013, Kidero won. Then you go and look at the senatorial seat in 2013, Mike Sonko won. But if you look at those answers, if you look at those results, you'll realize that Raila won because of the Western Alliance. That is the Luos, the Kambas who ended up voting for Raila Odinga because of Kalonzo, the Luyas, the Kisses, and other Nansa supporters in Nairobi in 2013. Mike Sonko won the Senate in Nairobi because of being a Kamba. The Kikuyu voted for him, and then he had those suing poor people voting for him, or the votes from the slums. If you look at 2017, it's the same. Raila won the presidential, Sonko won against Kidero in the gubernatorial seat. Why? Because of the Kamba votes. Raila won the presidential, but Sonko then ended up winning the gubernatorial seat, assuming the votes were fair, because Kidero believes that he was rigged out. But there was the Kamba votes, which still voted for Sonko. Then you add the Kikuyu votes, and then the slums. So it was not going to be possible to win Nairobi without an alliance. And this is why Uhuru Kenyatta decided to support or to endorse the ODM candidate in Makwiny and again in Kibra, so that when a by-election is now called in Nairobi, then everything is going to be very simple. So it's going to be simple. So we are going to have a candidate, and that candidate is going to be either Peter Kenneth or Dennis Waweru. And I'm looking at it, and I'm getting convinced that that candidate is likely to be Dennis Waweru, and not Peter Kenneth. Peter Kenneth might go for the deputy prime minister or the prime minister, or even the running mate. But for Nairobi, these people wanajipanga na Dennis Waweru. And I'm going to explain why. So we are going to have a ticket, a joint ticket. And that joint ticket is going to be Dennis Waweru, or even Peter Kenneth for that matter, plus ODM donating the running mate. It's that simple. And because Kikuyus will not allow Nairobi to go out, to slip away again, and because of the interest they have in Nairobi, I can assure you the Kikuyus who voted for Mike Mbuvi Sonko are going to vote for Dennis Waweru. The Kikuyu votes in Nairobi is 900,000. The Luo votes in Nairobi are around 400,000 or close to 500,000. So if you add those two, you already have 1.4 million votes. That's the calculations these guys are crafting behind the curtains. So we are going to have Aluya also there. So probably we are going to have, let's say, Dennis Waweru, Elizabeth Ongoro, who is going to be fronted by ANC party because she belongs there, or even the ODM party. So we have the gender balance, and then I know ultimately William Ruto will sponsor a candidate who is likely to be Margaret Wanjiru. But why do I have a strong feeling that these guys are planning to unleash Dennis Waweru? Number one is the Kikuyu Luo Alliance, basically the handshake. If you've been following Dennis Waweru of late, he's being elevated. He was defeated by KJ, then he joined Kieleweke, he became a leader there. Then when BBI Secretariat was formed, Dennis Waweru has been appointed as the co-chair with Junet Mohammed. Junet Mohammed is a close ally of Raila Odinga. So basically what's happening here, which you guys are not seeing early enough, is that a working relationship is being developed between Dennis Waweru and the ODM party. Because city politics also require ODM party. So I'm convinced Dennis Waweru is being groomed, and a conducive environment is being created for him to be acceptable. So basically, the Building Bridges Initiative platform will grant him the opportunity to work very closely with ODM leaders. And he's been doing that with the ODM leaders in Nairobi. So he's now part of them. It's that simple. Number 2 is city politics. You know, Nairobi politics is a bit different. It's not Msambweni, it's not the Kisumu politics, it's not any other place. It's about city politics. So there's the goonship, there is the tribal arithmetics there, and the rest. So having been a city politician, he understands city politics. In fact, in the last election, Dennis Waweru contested against Mike Sonko. But Mike Sonko defeated them. Because Mike Sonko understood street politics more than Dennis Waweru. What is still not very clear is whether, after the impeachment, Mike Sonko can still be allowed to contest again. Maybe the law can allow him to contest. But who is going to clear him? Because one of the reasons why you are being removed is because because of the grounds, the 4 grounds. Abuse of office and the rest. Number 3, I think it's also about the Nairobi Metropolitan Service delivery. Major Badi has delivered in Nairobi. So probably President Uhuru Kenyatta would want someone who, once elected, is not going to interfere with the delivery of service. And because Dennis Waweru is one of the people who have been pushing for the support, pushing Kenyans to support Major Badi, probably he understands what Uhuru wants to do or wants to achieve through the Nairobi Metropolitan Services. So because of that, I think Dennis Waweru is standing out. And then the other fact, number 4, is that Dennis Waweru is one of the key members of the Mount Kenya Foundation, a group of wealthy individuals from that region who are in business and in government, and they determine the politics of that region. Nairobi, they had idea, the Mount Kenya Foundation had idea of snatching Nairobi from ODM party, which they achieved. And in exchange, they were to be given the running mate, who is Polycarp Igathe. But Polycarp Igathe resigned. He couldn't work with Sonko. So it means today, the Mount Kenya Foundation don't have any kind of say in Nairobi. So now they have their individual, one of their members. So these guys are going to endorse this guy. So Dennis Waweru is likely to be the next governor. And lastly is the Building Bridges Initiative politics. These guys are not going to allow they're not going to take any chance in Nairobi. So either they're going to win it or they're going to lose it. Simple like that. But they are ultimately, BBI politics is going to be in Nairobi. It's going to be played in Nairobi. Sonko is going to do everything possible to ensure that if a by-election is called, he's going to put his resources and campaign for another guy. So we are going to have a combination of Ruto and Sonko teaming up to give Nairobi a candidate. So it will mean that the Building Bridges Initiative team must come together and produce a candidate. And that's why Dennis Waweru has an upper hand. But there's also slight chance of Peter Kenneth. Because already the other guy who would have made a comeback is Evans Kidero. Evans Kidero is already moving to Nairobi. I'm not sure whether he has cleared all those cases he was facing. But again, the system can decide to clear for him. But who else? I don't think Tim Wanyonyi, who is actually preparing to contest on ODM ticket, will be willing to take chance and resign as a governor, as a member of parliament there, member of parliament for Westlands. So I'm narrowing this thing to Dennis Waweru and not Peter Kenneth. Thank you guys, and please, if you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye bye.